Hello Steelers and welcome to another Bench Report hobby update. I'm going to have a little bit of channel news towards the end of this after I've gone through all the other usual stuff, so stick around and just listen out. There's going to be a little bit, some things are changing, but I'll explain more as we get to it. But you're here for what I've painted and also what I bought as well, I'm assuming. Well, actually, this week the great drought of varnish actually ended, and I managed to end up getting 3 large tubs of the Winsor & Newton Professional Artist Matte Spray. I actually even also had to go to Amazon and get next day delivery on a small tin as well because I was getting so desperate. But it meant that I was actually able to finish off all of the Battle of Britain aircraft. So the ones that I painted last week, which I was basically just being sat around waiting to be varnished, they were finished off, so I managed to get those done. I also finished off the last of them as well, so I worked my way through. I can't remember exactly what it was this week. I know I did the Bolton Paul Defiance and also the Junkers 88s as well. But this means that I've now completed, I'll give you a list: Spitfires, Hurricanes, Defiance, BF-109s, BF-110s, Ju-87 Stukas, Ju-88s, Do-17s and the HE-111s. Now, I'm not going to show you these in detail here today because I've actually done a showcase video for these, and that's going to come out maybe next week. We'll see. I've got a couple of other videos lined up for bonus videos for you for the next week or so. So it might be next week, might be the week after. We'll just see. I'm just kind of trying to put a few things together here and there. So check out those coming out, but I'm really chuffed that I've actually managed to finish these off, and I actually only got these in the post 2 weeks ago. I went straight through them. A lot of people have said, oh, I'm like a machine for painting them. To be perfectly honest, they're really simple. There's literally, I think for the Germans, there's no more than there's the underside, the top, and then the camouflage. So there's 3 colours and then a bit of detailing, and then same, almost same for the British. Yes, you've got 2 colours on the other upside and the blue on the underside. I've only done them in block colours, then just ink wash them in Nuln Oil, and then just give them a quite light dry brush of the original base colour. Really simple to do. The longest part was putting the decals on, and that's only because I had to cut them up individually, but even that didn't take long. So, you know, I was doing and I was doing 18 at a time, which, you know, if you're painting 28mm figures, 18 at a time is probably not a huge ask. It certainly isn't in 50mm. So, although yes, I did a lot of them, you know, they are pretty quick to do. So I was quite happy with that. The other thing as well that I managed to finish off because of the varnish situation was the Panzer Grenadier platoon. I'd actually painted that within about 2 days of thinking about it after Dex and I's last game of Kursk. We've had a couple of weeks break from it now, but they've just been sat literally for ages now just waiting for me for this varnish. So I got the varnish and they are sorted, so I'm chuffed with that. They're done. I also did a Foo and also a Sniper, because all of our games turn into Sniper duels or Foo duels at this point. We're both obsessed with them, so I did those just to calm his jets, hopefully a little bit. But kind of sticking with the well, with both themes actually, Battle of Britain and with Bag the Hun. For Bag the Hun, these arrived on Saturday. I've got the HMS Repulse, and I've also got 3, I think it's 3 or is it 4 Japanese Maru ships, which are the troop transports and various general transports. I've also got the HMS Prince of Wales, but they didn't have it in stock, so they're going to get that out to me soon enough. These are, I think these are something like 1/6000 scale. They're from Navy Models and Books, and they basically, what I want to do with these is turn these into targets for Bag the Hun. So HMS Repulse and also the Prince of Wales were sunk by Japanese aircraft, so I'm going to use these as a target for some Bettys at some point. That's the idea. And then use that as a nice Bag the Hun scenario, I think, at some point. As I say, they've only just arrived, so I've not really had a chance to do anything with them yet. But I'm looking forward to getting the Prince of Wales as well. They look like really nice models. If you're looking at anything, doing any naval stuff, these are probably worthwhile having a look at, I would say. So I'm going to check those out. And also the other big thing as well, which was released this week, and I've been waiting for a while for it. It was actually released at Gen Con, but it was released properly on the 15th. But I got my pre-order copy of this, Undaunted Battle of Britain. I've been waiting for this for quite a while now, so as I say, the Battle of Britain theme is going hard. I've already played a game of it, a solo game of it, and it worked really well. It's a very interesting, different style of game compared to the other Undaunted. I might do a video of a solo game of this at some point. I'm certainly going to do a proper review. I've done a box opening as well, which you probably saw earlier in the week. But lovely artwork, lovely production levels and everything in this. I might even proxy in some of my 1600 Battle of Britain aircraft into some of the games for this, just to add a little bit of interest. But yeah, a proper review of this coming at some point in the future. I'm not sure when, but as always, it is a great, great game, great range of games as well. Well worth checking out. Shop around. I would say probably get it on Amazon a little bit cheaper than I paid for it. A few quid here and there. The other game that I played this week was down at the club. This was a bit of a test game for Joy of 6. I was going to play Algae Pulls It Off for the Joy of 6, but I decided, because I've done the Battle of Britain stuff in discussion with Paul at the club, I'm going to put my Battle of Britain stuff on the table. Although it's not exactly 6mm, it is 3mm. It's still small scale, so it still fits within their remit. And we played basically a tester of the game. I wanted to see if it worked. We had 18 Heinkel's on the table with 8 Messerschmitt 109s, and it was 8 Hurricanes and 8 Spitfires. And I think it ended up being like a 6-player game. So it was there was a few stragglers that came down to the club who didn't have games, so we chucked them in, and that was a good way of testing out whether the number of aircraft on the table would work, and if it would work with so many players, and if people could pick it up quickly as well, because a couple of the lads had not played before. So yeah, it worked, and it worked really well. It was real good. It was absolute chaos complete. The British were trying to shoot down the Heinkel's as they were coming in. Meanwhile, the Messerschmitts were trying to stop them. The British suffered from mission creep and basically almost ignored the bombers. But we did actually only get through about 3 turns because there were so many aircraft buzzing around. So I think for a full long day game, the way I'm going to do it at Joy of 6 is I'm going to probably have like a drop in and out kind of session, so somebody can come along, play for a couple of turns or a turn, have a mess about, roll some dice, and then go off on their way. And if they want to stick around and play all day, then they can do. But it will lend itself to quite a nice game, drop in and out kind of game. So if you are coming to Joy 6, come and check it out. Come and say hello anyway if you are, even if you don't want to play, just come and say hello. So that was good fun. That was great. A great time was had by all, as they say. Okay, so we'll get on to the news, channel news, and this is quite big news, to be honest. So next week I'm going to be heading over to Vienna, possibly not for the last, no, probably not for the last time, but for the last time in a long time, I would have thought, because my wife is going to move back to the UK at the end of this month, so she's coming back to Britain on the 28th, and so we're going to be flying back together after I've spent about a week over there. Now, she's going to be moving back into the UK, which is brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's going to be great to have her around again, because we have been living apart for the last few years, which has also been why I've been able to be so prolific with the channel. So I've always had a lot of time to myself to be able to do things and put videos out and just, to create things whenever I wanted to. Obviously, with my wife around, things are going to change, so that's not going to be probably possible from my point of view. So the video output will probably take a substantial, probably not a nosedive, but it will certainly go down quite a bit, I would have thought. That's not to say that she's not supportive of the channel, and she's also, she tells me to do things, but I'm just what I'm going to have to do is probably have a little bit of a rethink, because making videos does take up such a long time, and it's not as though, it's a two-person thing. It's kind of just me on my own. So, not just filming stuff and making games and things, it's also the editing process takes a long time as well. I can fit it around other things currently, because obviously, you know, being in the house on my own is you're not playing somebody else's tune as well. So, as I say, I'm going to have to rethink what I do, just how things work. That said, I do have a backup of videos currently, and there will be a video every week until October at least. So I've got enough backup at the moment until early part of October, I think. So for the next few weeks, don't worry, you're covered. There are things coming. There will be more videos on their way, so that's not a problem. After that, I'm not sure. I mean, I'll still be making videos, but I'm just not sure at the frequency. What I might have to do is probably just maybe even drop down some of these, like a channel update, maybe drop it down to a month or so rather than a hobby update, sorry, maybe a month rather than a week, as I have been doing, because once again it's just, you know, fitting in the time around to do these things. So as I say, things will change. And I do have a lot of Patreons, I do have a lot of channel members, and I'm massively appreciative of all of that. I'd be more than happy for, you know, if anybody wants to drop out on this news, then, you know, please do. There's no hard feelings whatsoever. As I say, until October at least, there will be videos coming out. After October, I'm not sure. I'll probably have some time in September to make quite a few videos, so I'll be able to do some more backup after that at least. So you know, I'm just trying to think outside the box at the moment. But it'll all work at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, in future, probably don't expect as much video frequency as you have been getting. That's all I can say. What I might do is I might change it and change the format completely, and even just go to relatively infrequent updates, but just try to make them a little bit better, if you know what I mean, just to make it a little more of a spectacle. So like do an after action report just once a month, but just make it just that tiny bit, you know, better than the ones that I've been doing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I just wanted to lay it out for people, really, as to what is to come. As I say, don't give up on me yet. It hasn't happened yet. Certainly I can fit in reviews of things quite easily. They're relatively easy videos to make. I can do other bits and pieces, but it's just the bigger videos that might take a bit of a tumble. Like I say, large scale games and things like that. Filming those, because they generally take a full day up, and then also at least another day or two to actually edit as well around. And I also work full time as well, so it's quite difficult. If I was doing this full time, it'd be a lot easier, but I'm not. And I don't want to anyway, because I enjoy my job. But that's I just wanted to put that out there and just say, you know, this is where we're at. It is what it is at the moment, and all I can do is just suck it and see, and we'll see what happens after October. But I'm fairly sure things will keep coming out with a frequency. So don't worry about it too much. And you've still got at least another few months before you see any major changes from a weekly update. Anyway, all right. I will wrap it up there without rambling too much, and I will say thank you very much as always for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, because you know it always helps out the channel, getting those algorithms up. Drop a like as well, and share this anywhere you would normally share these kind of things. And I'll see you hopefully soon in the next hobby update channel report, well, bench report.